What's up, guys? It's your girl Nosh. Hope everything is well. Gonna get into a collective message for you guys. We got a collective message. Please excuse the sound of the AC in the back. It's hot. It's so hot that it's really hot. Guys, we are up at about 20 what is it? Like we're like mid June now, right? Mid June. Where we passed the summer solstice. So by the time you get this video, it should be after the summer solstice, right? I hope everyone was safe during the summer solstice. I hope you manifested the things that you wanted to, and I hope they come true for you if they are aligned with your highest and greatest good. But let's talk about the collective energy right now. Collective, you are figuring out who it is that is on your side and who it is that is not on your side. Meaning, if you are collective, part of the collective out there that's trying to make a change either in this world or even with yourself, right? And during this strawberry full moon that we had, you were the collective that released a lot of things, like released a lot of, things that didn't serve you anymore, that weren't aligned with you anymore. This is for you guys. Be very careful on people trying to come back to you. This has been the running theme so far for the past couple of weeks, that people really want to get back into your presence. People really want to get back into your energy. So you must be careful. I feel like I have to remind you guys, because sometimes you guys just forget. You think that someone fucked you over a long time ago, and since time has passed, this person has changed. Believe me when I say people who are evil and people who do no good don't change. Okay? They don't change, they just get better. So whatever mask this person is going to put on, whatever facade this person is going to come up with, whatever story, whatever storyline that they are coming up with right now, Spirit is saying, please be aware of it. A lot of times people say, oh, why do good things happen to, why do bad things happen to good people? The thing is, the bad things that happen to good people because good people need to stop being so good. When someone shows you who they are, you must believe what they're showing you. You have to stop making excuses, and this collective message is going out to those people who keep making excuses for the bad that is being done to them by these people. Like, oh, maybe they just, weren't in the right frame of mind. Oh, maybe they're having a tough day. Or maybe that, it wasn't their year. Maybe it wasn't their past 5 years. Maybe it's not their day. Maybe it's not their hour. Stop making excuses. It's pathetic. You are seriously sitting there making an excuse for someone who purposely comes in and hurts you. And then you turn around and say, oh, they didn't mean it. Well, what did they mean then? This is a test for you, collective. Because in a couple of days, I believe it's either the 28th or the 29th. I'm not sure exactly on the date. Saturn is going retrograde. And everyone who has done whatever you have done, a lot of people get mad at me especially when I point out, if you did bad, you're going to get bad. Well, what the fuck you think you're going to get? You get what you put out there. So whatever you've been putting out there, that's what I'm going to say from now on. Whatever you've been putting out there, whatever energy you've been putting out into the universe, that is the energy that is going to be meeting with you during this Saturn retrograde. Whatever energy that you've been putting out. So whatever it is. So obviously, if things are working out in your favor, it means you put out good energy. If things are not working out in your favor, you really have to go back and I'm getting in my head the Judgment card. In the Light Seers deck, the Judgment card is a woman holding her hands up as her soul is ascending above her. It's a greenish card, right? Greenish blue card, and her soul is ascending up towards the sky, and she is in prayer position. Judgment, reflection, renewal. There's another word that's coming to my mind. Reckoning. When someone says, I reckon, right? What do you think they mean? So, think about that for a second. When something is becoming a reckoning, ask yourself, what does that mean to you? When you hear the word reckoning, what does it mean? A renewal. So a lot of you are going to be starting new cycles. The cycles that you have been in are finishing. New cycles are going to be starting now, whether they are new cycles in new journeys or new cycles in the old situation that you're in, because there's a lot of cycles that are going to start. Some of you are going to start cycles without the people that have been that have not been good for you, meaning you finally understand it. You're going to start a cycle without these individuals in your energy, right? Some of you are going to start new cycles with people that are still in your energy that should have been long gone. Like, you have to understand, the cycle is going to keep going, whether you like it or not, because your actions are what caused the cycle to keep going. Now, say you've been dealing with someone that's very toxic. Universe has been giving you signs that you shouldn't, deal with this person anymore. You're going to finish out the cycle of whatever was going on with you and this person. Now there's going to be a new cycle that's going to start. Now the new cycle is going to depend on you guys, both of you guys, whoever you're dealing with, whether you want to start renewed. Did you reckon the mistakes that you made with each other? These are the things that are going to be on the table for you guys when you start this new cycle. Now, two things are going to happen. You're either going to start, you're going to start a new cycle and you're going to continue doing what you were doing and you're going to do it even worse now. Right? Or you're going to start a new cycle where you're not going to do what you were doing and you're going to do something new. Renewal. Right? This is a time period where a lot of people reinvent themselves. A lot of times where relationships get reinvented. The love you have for someone gets either renewed or reinvented. When we say reinvented, we always talk about reinvented, invented again. When you invent something again, sometimes there's no guarantee it's going to be the same way that you invented it before. So if you're trying something out that didn't work before, I guarantee you it's not going to work going forward, especially if it's not aligned with you. You guys have to understand, your destinies have already been scripted out, right? You just have to get there. Whether you get there delayed or too early or too late, the destiny is going to open its door to you when it's time for destiny to open its door to you. So say your destiny is supposed to open its door to you at 5:05, right? You get there at 5:10, you're late. that's the time you're going to get there, at 5:10, right? You're late. You're going to be a little late, but it doesn't mean that the destiny's not going to open up. Destiny's going to open up at 5:10 for you. But if you get there at 5:05, right? Destiny obviously is going to open up its door to you. But if you get there at 5 o'clock, you're going to have to wait that 5 minutes. That's how it works. I know it sounds a little confusing, but when it's already scripted out, you have to understand, you just have to go with the flow. That's why I tell you guys, you got to go with the flow. Stop interfering with what other people are doing. Stop worrying about what other people are doing. Just stay in your lane and keep moving with the flow that you're moving in. Guarantee you, if you move with the flow, things will come quicker and faster for you, right? Good things. If you go against the flow, you're just going to invite bad things to come in. If you go against what your destiny is, cannot be changed. I don't care how much you want to argue with me about this. Because I remember a long time ago, I had argued with my friend when I was naive, like in early, late 2000, I want to say late 2000, mid 2000. I was having a discussion with a friend of mine, and we were talking about if the future is it can be changed, and can fate and destiny be changed. And he had said, no, it cannot be. Once something is written down once something is written, it cannot be changed. And of course, me being the devil's advocate, I was like, but what if you take different, paths, or you take a different option, and it'll change it, right? And he said, no, it doesn't change. You just arrive there differently, but it still is going to produce the outcome that was originally written for it to be produced as. Meaning, you can try as much as you want to either detour or avoid or choose something else, but what is written for you will happen. And in this situation, a lot of people get turned off with what I say, because a lot of people don't believe it, and I totally respect it. I'm open-hearted about that. I respect what you respect. just as long as you respect what I respect. So this is for people who are a little open-minded, you know. But what I was taught, this, because I teach you guys from the teachings that I've been taught, right? I'm not going to go away from it. I'm not going to make anything up on my own. So what I was taught was that God has already written out each and every step that you are going to take soon as you take your first breath when you come out of the womb, right? In some areas, God has it where it's gray, where as you wish, he says in the pages, right? In the pages that he's written out your script, he has like, you know, step 1, step 2, step 3, I wrote it out. You know, 4, 5, step 4 and 5, it's whatever you wish, child. So there's little areas in your life that, yes, you have free will and you will do, you know, what you want to do, and you can do what you want to do. But most of it, you could say 75% to 85% of your script is already written out. So there are times period where I do things, right? And I don't get disappointed after I do them. I don't regret them after I do them, right? I say that's what was meant to happen. That's the choice I made. I hold myself accountable for it. I don't sit there and regret like, oh, why did I do that? If I could go back and change it. No, maybe that's what was written for it to play out the way it did. Now, a lot of times, you know, like when we get stuck in traffic, we get stuck in traffic and we get late for work, right? This is a very best analogy I can come up with. When you get stuck in traffic, obviously you're on your way somewhere and you're going to be late getting there. But what if that's exactly what was meant to happen? That you were supposed to be late getting there. When you notice things like that happen, sometimes you run into a person that you haven't seen in a long time. Fate, destiny, serendipitous, you know. Sometimes you find money, you know, somewhere walking around, you know, the corner where you normally walk, like, you know, every day, and you arrive there at 8:10, and today you arrived there at 8:20, and then when you arrived there, there was $50 on the floor. Maybe that's why you had to get there at 8:20 and not 8:10, right? Sometimes it's because they delayed you. You got stuck at traffic around the corner from your house. Why? Because there was a major traffic on the highway and you avoided that. You could have been the one in the traffic accident, right? But you weren't because you got delayed. Every action has a reasoning behind it. We may not understand the reasoning of why it's happening right away at the moment that it's happening, but I guarantee you, if you look back at certain things in your life, now that you're not attached to those moments anymore, you can kind of look them, you know, from an eagle eye view. You can look at what happened to you and you can see the pattern. You can see like, oh, okay, that happened. I got delayed in rush hour because there was a major accident, and wow, that could have been me in the accident, right? Or I turned around and I got delayed because I realized that I left my front door open, so I need to go back around, you know, turn back around to the house to go lock my door. There's a reason why that happened. What if you would have left and you didn't remember? Now you come home, say you have an animal or something, your animal ran out. You know, everything has a reason behind it. I kid you not. If there's one thing I can promise you, that's that. Everything has a reason behind it. Everything is coordinated a certain way. The universe is extremely intelligent. God is extremely intelligent. You know, even the little ant that nobody cares for, right? People just step on an ant and just call it a day. Even that ant has a purpose, and God has written out its purpose for it. Even the 3-4 days of life that it has, or 3-4 hours of life it has, God has scripted out even that for an ant, a small ant. What is a small ant compared to a human? But we are actually ants ourselves when God looks at us. We're tiny little things running around doing our thing every day. And God has orchestrated every single thing. You know, and if it bothers you when I use the word God, I'll say the universe. The spirits. They have everything orchestrated already. Fate, destiny, the people that you meet, the person that you meet. You know, like there's times where you pass someone on the street and you have eye contact with them and you feel this intense feeling inside of you like, wow, they looked at me, I looked at them, and I felt so comfortable with that look that they gave me. Because a lot of people really don't like to look at people in the eyes. But you ever made eye contact with a stranger and you just felt comfortable? You know? It's because you probably knew that person and it was scripted out for you to run into that person at that time. Like there's a saying that I came across, and it was really beautiful. It really eye-opener, where it said, when something is not meant for you, or when someone is not meant for you, you won't even end up with them on a dead-end street. Like a dead-end street, you figure if both of you are walking towards a dead-end street, you'll run into each other. But if you're not meant to be with someone, you will not even run into them on a dead-end street. That's how fate is orchestrated. Your fate and your destiny are written by the Almighty. Always remember that. So whatever is happening to you, number one, you and the Almighty, you and the universe, sorry guys, you and the universe sat down and wrote it out already. Now your soul knows what's going on. Your body is just going through it. That's why you should get in touch with your soul. Get in touch with your inner light. Ask your soul. Talk to your soul. What am I supposed to do next? Your soul knows the answer. It's just that it's not going to say anything. Obviously, it's like you. Do you speak to someone when someone's not speaking to you? You only answer when you call on them, when someone calls on you, right? Someone calls your name. What do? You say, huh? Yes, right? If no one calls your name, you're not going to respond. So you have to call upon your soul to ask your soul, what is the next step? Please, soul, I would like to get closer to my destiny. I would like to be living in my destiny right now. A lot of you need to really, really go inside and get in tune with that. What is your purpose? What is your destiny? Now, with this Saturn retrograde that's coming in, most of us will be moving towards our destinies, and most of us will be moving towards exactly what I said, our destiny. And the reason why I explained it, because whether you're doing good or bad, you're still going to reach where you need to go with what your purpose is. Sometimes people don't understand it, that we have individuals in our life that do us bad on purpose. You know why? Because that's their destiny. Like, if we're going to be fair about this, no judgment. So let's think about it. There's you, and then obviously there is an antagonist. In your story, where you are the protagonist, there is an antagonist. Okay? If you're going to be trying to accomplish something, there is going to be someone that's going to try to take you down. And you must embrace that. You must be aware of that. You must understand that. That's my cat. Enough. Come here. Come. So you must embrace that. It's so funny, I said that and my cat just started going off, like howling, like Squidward's fucking snail, bro. He's like, yes, mommy is talking truth right now. Mommy is telling you guys, you better listen. But yeah, so you have to embrace that these people were put into your life to make you stronger. Every time someone rejected you, that was to make you stronger. It was a lesson. So everything that you have gone through, never sit there and regret it. Never sit there and take it in vain. Nothing that has happened to you in your life has happened in vain. Even the people that fucked you over or stole from you or took things from you, they had a purpose. Their purpose was to do that. Now, however a universe is going to deal with them, that's their problem. You need to learn from what happened. If you do not learn, you will repeat the lesson again. If you learn the lesson and you start applying it to your present moment, or your, like as you're living, obviously, like, yeah, back to it, your present moment or the present moment that you're in, you will pass go. Basically, you will level up. The whole point of this life is to keep leveling up, to understand why is it that you came back. All of us came back for a reason. Some of us came back to stop others, and some of us came back to basically be not stopped, right? There's a group of people that are here to stop people from accomplishing their goals, and there's a group of people that are here to accomplish those goals. We call it the Ascension Team, and we call it the Resistance, right? Long time ago, like 2015, 2016, I started learning about this, that there's a group of people that are the Resistance, and there's a group of people that are the Ascension, the people who ascend people. And then there's people who resist people from ascending. So as you're sitting there ascending, and ascending basically means to become intelligent, to be more awake, to be more in tune with spirit, to be more in tune with the light, right? And then there's going to be resistance. Resistance isn't bad nor good. Just like the people who are ascending aren't bad or good, right? Right? It's just everyone's perspective. Like, it's, for instance, I'll give you an example. If you're the type of person who's always happy and you try to lift up everybody's mood, right? So you come into a situation where one of your friends is feeling bad, feeling down. Now you're that friend that lifts everybody's mood up, right? You're telling your friend, no, it's okay, don't worry about it, everything's going to be fine. Now here comes your other friend. Your other friend starts spitting out facts like reality, like, which we can't deny it. That's why I said resistance is no good or no bad. It starts spitting out facts like, oh, you did this, you did that, and you did this. Oh, I feel bad for you. How are you ever never going to get out of this. And then you have you where you're like, oh, but things are going to get better. Just look up to the light. You see what you're doing? You see what you two are doing? Resistance and ascension. You are trying to ascend the person by telling them to be optimistic, to be open, to be, to keep their eyes on the prize. The other person is telling them, no, don't do that. You got to figure out what you're going to do. This, and that. None of you are bad or good. Now that person is going to be faced with a decision. Do they listen to the resistance or do they listen to the ascension team? Everyone's on teams. You have to realize what team you're on. Are you here to resist people from ascending? Like basically stop people from ascending? Or are you here to assist people to ascend? And when I say assisting is more like the healers, The healers that heal no matter what happens. They don't ask any questions. They don't hold any judgments. They just heal. These people are walking, talking rose quartz, basically. I'm one of them. I'm part of the ascension team. I don't have a problem with people ascending. I think it's a beautiful thing when a soul ascends and evolves and understands that this is my purpose. But you have resistance. The team resistance is going to stop you from reaching that purpose. Why? Because that's the contract their soul signed. So say you're married to someone, you guys end up getting divorced. Now your ex-husband keeps stopping you from getting into new relationships or finding love, right? He is being resistance in your life. There's a lot of people like that. There's maybe your grandma, maybe your father, your mother, your coworker, your friend, your next door neighbor. Everybody is assigned a role. You have to figure out what your role is. And if that's the role that you're giving, but this is another beautiful thing. You have a choice at the end of the day. So say you find yourself, you are part of the resistance team, right? That you, no matter what light a person brings in, whatever light, love, and healing a person brings in, you are there to stop it. You hate it. You don't like it. You don't want people to ascend because you think people are stupid. That's fine. You have the free will at the end of the day to change your mind. You can always switch teams whenever you want. There's no penalization here. There's no consequences if you leave resistance, and resistance is gonna. It's not a gang, guys. It's not a gang where resistance is gonna get you and they're gonna do this. No, it's a choice you make. You can either choose to be with the darkness or you can choose to be with the light. And I don't really like using the words darkness and light because it's just because of how society looks at light and dark. Dark always gets the bad name. But like I said, at the end of the day, resistance is nor good or bad, and ascension is no good or bad. It's up to you to decide where you want to be on, what line. What side of the line you want to be on. To stop people from evolving or to help people evolving. And when I say stop people from evolving, I'm talking about the people that throw magic, that use manipulation of the elements to steal things from people or to take things from people or to harvest people's energy, to basically fuck other people over, right? Like say you have someone who is the type of person who, if you look at this person the wrong way, they start throwing magic spells at people. That's person who is resistance. That's resistance team. They're team resistance. Okay. Then you have the people that no matter what you do to these people, no matter what magic you throw at them, whatever you do, they just pray. They keep praying and they keep believing in their ancestors and spirits and God, and they just have this relationship with the universe that is unbreakable. That's team ascension. They're going to ascend themselves and they're going to help other people ascend. Now you have to decide where you want to be. Now, and it's not like, oh, who's the hero and who's the villain? It's nothing like that. It's the choice you make at the end of the day on what side of the team you want to be on. Like which team you want to be on. It's just like you could either be the Yankees or you could be the Red Sox. A team is a team. Purpose is the same thing, right? The Red Sox want to win. The Yankees want to win. They're both playing baseball. Here, the same thing. The Ascension team wants to win. The Resistance team wants to win. Goal is the same thing. Resistance wants to make sure that nobody is ascending. Ascension team wants to make sure that people are ascending. As a collective, we're all ascending. Why wouldn't you want to ascend? Why would you want to hold yourself back? Is depression and sadness that good? Because that's a resistance department. Like a long time ago, I remember I was sitting down talking to this one of our friends. Like this actually happened to me. I was sitting down talking to one of my friends, and I was explaining to her about angels and the universe and affirmations and how you speak well, and you speak well things out and well things happen to you. Like you speak good things out to the universe, good things happens to you in return. They get circulated basically because whatever you put out there gets boomeranged right back to you. So another friend of mine comes over and says, "Oh, you're talking about angels and universe again?" I'm like, well, yeah, because, you know, I'm explaining to such and such because they had a question. So this person starts, I'm not friends with this person anymore, and you'll see why. This person said, oh, angels do not exist. You know, the universe is, it's all a lie. This, and that, and blah, blah, blah. And I just looked at them and I said, wow, resistance. Wow. You even found your way here. And the person just looked at me really weird, but their soul knew exactly what I was talking about. Like, I'm over here trying to it's like trying to give a sermon of peace, love, and light, and how we're protected by the divine, and this, and that. And here comes my ex-friend talking about, that's not true, that's not believable, that's not real, God's not. I was like, okay, I totally get what you're saying, but it's not your turn right now. Shut the fuck up and sit down. When it's your turn, you can make your fucking pitch, and then maybe she'll listen to you, maybe she won't. But thank God, at the end of the day, she kind of like, not saying that she listened to me, but she already had a foundation with God in the universe, where she strengthened her faith, strengthened in what she already was believing in. Now, my ex-friend, I don't know what happened with that person, but I do not engage with that person anymore, because it's like, it's conflict of interest, you know what I mean? Like, you can't be like, you know, like on the Ascension team and be over there like in cahoots with resistance. You could do that if you want to, but I don't play like that. I don't play both sides. If anything, I try to keep the balance in order. So if something bad does happen, where there's something good that's been happening, balance has to be restored. You know what I mean? Like, if you cry today, you will laugh tomorrow. You laugh tomorrow, you will cry the day after. So it's a balance, as long as the balance is restored. Now, how is the balance restored? We let her make her decision. Then darkness, right? Team darkness had a representation, had a representative. They made their pitch to her. She didn't buy it. She instead said, you know what? No, you're right about the universe. I need to start manifesting more in this, and that. It felt good, but it wasn't like a good, like, oh, I won. It's just another soul ascended. Another soul woke up and realized, you know, that instead of living in turmoil, there is a way out. So that's what we're talking about here. With Saturn going retrograde in Pisces, right? What's going to happen is a lot of you are going to realize that your cycles are over, but you're also going to realize, did you start this cycle again, or did you start a completely new cycle? If you started a completely new cycle, good for you. Congratulations. But if you are stuck in the same cycle, you have to make your choice. Are you being resistance to yourself, where you don't want yourself to evolve and you keep doing the same thing over and over again? You know, that's called insanity, right? To do the same thing over and over again and get the same result, but get mad. But then again, you're doing the same thing again and again. Of course, you're going to get the same result. So a lot of you really are going to be starting to wake up and realize that it's time to think out of the box. It's time to think out of the comfort zone. Okay? What has not been working for you in the past, if you continue to keep doing it, it's still not going to work. So Saturn's kind of like, Saturn retrograde in Pisces is actually trying to give you a little break and changing up your pattern. Okay? And also be aware of karma. Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and Neptune is an outer planet, so it affects things in the longevity term, like the longevity of things and experiences, and like, you know, the time, it's longer, meaning this is a time period where generational curses will be taken care of. Like, if you come from a generation where, you know, such and such has been happening, maybe you're the one who's putting an end to it. So like I said, again, Neptune is an outer planet. It is more involved in the time frame of things, and the time frame is the longer time period. So it's like, you know how they say, are you thinking short term, or are you thinking long term? When Neptune is involved, it's thinking long term. So with Saturn going retrograde in a planet that is ruled by Neptune, which it being Pisces, a lot of things like your legacy, generational curses, your career and where it's going, your dynasty, that is going to be affected. Depending on what you do, you can either carry out the same karmic traits and the same generational curses that have been put on your lineage and your bloodline. You can carry them out, right? Meaning you can continue doing what your ancestors did, right? Whether negative or positive, that's up to your ancestors, because all of you have different ancestors. Depending on what your ancestors did, you either will be carrying out the same traditions, or you will be putting an end to them. But just remember, karma will be paid. So whether your ancestors did something to someone and now you're doing the same thing to someone, that will be rectified. There will be a reckoning on that. Now when you get what I'm saying now when I got that judgment card? So be careful how you interact with people. Are you doing what you normally do? If it's not love, kindness, and being authentic and sincere and genuine, it's not going to work. I'm sorry. Fake is not going to work anymore. Throwing stones and then hiding your hands are not going to work anymore. You're going to have to pay for it. Yeah, and you ever, I'm gonna, when you were kids, right? When you guys were kids, obviously we were all kids at one point. You ever remember seeing that aunt that was always miserable and bad shit was always happening to her? And you always realized, when I was growing up, she was fine, but what happened to her when she got old? Ooh, karma caught up to her. We are those aunts and uncles now. When we were younger, we were fine. We were frolicking. We did whatever we wanted to. We hurt whoever we wanted to. Not thinking about the consequences that were going to come when we got older. Now what's going to happen is either we're going to suffer or our children are going to suffer. And I hate to put it out there like that, but it's the truth. You can't cry about reality. It's true. The only thing you can do is ask for forgiveness, receive the punishment, and keep it going. And don't complain. I've noticed that when you complain about karma, it gets heavier. Like, if you just admit to yourself, oh, fuck, man, I fucked up Susie 5 years ago. That's why this is happening to me. You know what? I accept it. I'm really sorry, God. I'm sorry, universe, but I learned my lesson. I'm not going to do that shit again. Whatever sentence you get for your karma, you serve it, and then you're good. You're free. Just like when you go to court. If an apology letter is not going to set you free. If you committed murder, you're going to have to pay the sentence. You're going to have to pay the time. And no matter how many apology letters you write or petitions you write about how sorry you are, your sorry is not going to bring back the life. Your sorry is not going to change what you did to a poor family. You know what I mean? You're still going to have to pay for the crime. And then after you pay for the crime, most of you who pay for the crime, you understand and you change. You ask for forgiveness. You start thinking about what you're doing. You realize that every action that you take has a consequence towards it, and you actually start taking responsibility and accountability towards it. Guess what? Bam, level up, you move, you pass go. But if you're the type of person who committed a murder and then you went to jail, you got out, right? You served your sentence, and like 10, 15 years later, you got out and you committed another murder. Now you're back in jail for the same shit. You know what we call those people? People who don't fucking learn. And there's a lot of you out there who don't learn, where you do something, right? And you think nobody is watching, right? You think nobody is watching. You feel justified in what you're doing. But at the end of the day, the judgment isn't in your hand. It is in the hand of the universe. That's why I constantly tell you, when someone does something to you, yells at you, spits at you, just fucking walk away. And you have every right to walk away. If you don't want someone in your energy, you have every free will to be like, I do not give you access. And if someone wants to get mad at you because you don't give them access, and they want to throw spell work at you, they want to tarnish your name, they want to defame your status and your image or whatever, you know what? They're going to have to pay for that karma, because you made it clear you did not want any access you didn't want to give any access to this person. And if they cannot take that as a mature adult, as an emotionally mature mental adult, right? As emotionally mature, mentally mature adult, then that's their fucking problem. All you have to do is keep on protecting yourself, because people like that never learn. And I guarantee you there's somebody out there that feels justified on putting the magic that they put on you because you blocked them, because you no longer want them in your life, and they feel justified. Whatever justification they have, only God knows. The universe really knows what's going on, and the universe will take care of it. There is no better advocate than the universe, guys. I'm gonna tell you this. Put your faith in the universe. There is no better judge or advocate or lawyer or representative that you can get than the universe, because the universe watches everything, and the universe will always make sure that the scales are balanced out. So if today your enemy is laughing at the cost of you, right? At the cost of you, your enemy is laughing. I promise you that one day you'll be laughing too. But don't do it at the cost of your enemy, because you don't want to be like them. That's the whole point. In order to break a karmic cycle harmoniously, you do not act like what you normally would act like. So if you're that type of person who would yell and scream and argue, don't do that. Do something different to break the karmic cycle and to end it harmoniously. Again, in order to end it harmoniously, what you simply need to do is walk away with love in your heart for yourself. And that's it. And I'm not even telling you to have love in your heart for the person you're walking away from, because it's hard. It's really hard. Best thing to do is just love yourself, have respect for yourself, and walk away. And don't ever deal with someone like that. You find someone fucked you over, please do not give them another chance. People don't change, I'm telling you. Because if they were a good person, if they were a good-natured person, a good-hearted person, they wouldn't have hurt you in the first place. You guys forget that really quickly. Evil people do evil things. Good people do good things, okay? I'm going to leave you with that message. I hope everybody is safe. I hope everybody gets whatever their heart desires, as long as it's aligned with your highest and greatest good. And just remember, guys, just be on your P's and Q's. As much as kindness you can give into the world, as much as healing you can give into the world, as much as you can help others, please do that. And don't be those fake poser motherfuckers that post up shit like, oh, let's plant a tree and let's grow this and flowers this, but then you're sitting there talking shit about your coworker, or you're sitting there talking shit about your neighbor, and or you're sitting there doing magic in the corner on people that simply, you know, like, don't want to deal with you or don't want to be with you, or a guy that rejected you or a girl that rejected you. But here you are on social media putting all this stuff up that's positive. Actually live that positive life, okay? Because if you don't, it's going to catch up to you, and I promise you it'll catch up to you, because the universe is watching. Whenever you think no one is watching you, that is when you're definitely being watched by a microscope, okay? And that's how the universe watches you. It's a very special microscope that it watches you, and like, oh, so that's what you're doing today? So earlier today you were going around giving lectures about how people should love each other, and now you're sitting over here with your spell book and you're casting dark magic on people. Oh, lovely. Let's write this down. Hey, did you write this down, what this person is doing? Okay, perfect. You wrote it down, right? Okay, next person, what are they doing? Oh, so sweet. They're praying for other people. This person's always praying for other people. You know what? Bless them more. This person's really kind-hearted. Look at their heart. It's so pure. Like, oh my God. Like, can we clone this person? Give them more. That's how the universe works. I don't know if you know that by now, okay? But if you don't, run with whatever theory you want to run with. Just remember, at the end of the day, it's your life, not mine. Okay? Mwah. Love you guys. I'll talk to you next time.